Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. You're watching World Tonight, and now in the second segment we will be talking about the Interfaith Harmony. How important is that? What is the significance of that? We have with us in the studio Rubab Mehdi Rizvi. She's a lawyer by profession, but she's working on the interfaith and religion. Thank you very much, ma'am, for taking out your time and joining us in the studio.
And an honor and pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. The importance and the significance, especially as in Pakistan, we have recently witnessed the wave of violence, especially the sectarian violence. How important and how to sort of contain it now?
I think it is a very important question that you've raised. Although I beg to differ on one aspect, I do not believe that what we are facing in Pakistan is sectarianism. In Pakistan, what we face, and which you will agree is the biggest challenge for us, is terrorism. Because in Pakistan, there is no clash between the sects as such, and there is no such thing as sect in Islam. We have 5 different schools of thought in Islam. And when you talk about a school, you know, it's called fiqhs in the Urdu language, which is the Jama of Fikr. Even at this point in Pakistan, there is no, I'll give you an example. 22,000 Shia Muslims have been slaughtered. 85,000 have been deported from UAE over the last 3 years. You have 56,000 IDPs. If it was Shias versus Sunnis, then where is the tit-for-tat violence? Do you see that on the roads? Do you see that on the streets? It is not one sect after the other. It is one brand, new version of Islam, who believes that anybody who is different to them deserves to be killed. It is these very people who are killing the Shias. It is these very people who are killing the Ahmadis. It is these very people who are killing the Christians. It is these very people who are killing the polio workers. So what we face in Pakistan is not sectarianism, because it is not one sect after the other. What you are facing is terrorism and totally unilateral killings. And what you need in Pakistan right now is some clarity. Do we know who our enemies are? Have we stated our enemies? Because what happens is that there is a killing, there is a bomb blast. After that, it's followed by a protest with a one-off speech in the parliament, and there's like, okay, fine. But is that enough? The people who are there to represent the people, the parliamentarians, need to come together, and they need to name and shame the people who are anti-state, because all of this that is happening, these are not attacks on the Shias, these are not attacks on the Sufi shrines, these are not attacks on the Christians, these are attacks on the integrity of Pakistan.
You say these are attacks on the integrity of Pakistan, but then in that case, what kind of measures should the parliament or our parliamentarians be taking in that respect?
I am very clear on this, that, and I'm not too sure if I'm allowed to say it right now, but I have demanded this in the past, that all of by a parliamentary resolution, the terrorist organizations who have been claiming responsibility in the press, like TTP, like LEJ, these should be declared anti-state by a parliamentary resolution. The enemies of the state who have attacked more than 8,000 of our soldiers, who burned the flag of Pakistan, what is the reason that they have not been named, they have not been shamed? Why is there no clarity? How is it that I, as a human rights campaigner, I am against the physical aspects of the war on terror? But how is it that the people are talking about drones and the collateral damage in the drones? But how is it that the people who are killing our soldiers are glorified? And how is it that if you are going to demoralize your own armed forces, how do you see a resolve in terrorism? Which is why I say that people who are terrorists cannot be called our Muslim brothers, because terrorism does not have a religion. So our enemies need to be named, they need to be shamed, and it is the responsibility of the parliamentarians to come together, and by a parliamentary resolution, they should be declaring the LEJ, the TTP, and all these sectarian organizations. There should be legislation against hate literature, where people are openly being called wajibul qatl from members. Then there should be, apart from this, this kufr factory that is running in Pakistan, there should be legislation against the hate literature. There should be a clear counter-terrorism policy.
Sorry to bother here, because this really makes me emotional. And when I get emotional, I become very blunt and I forget that I'm sitting on the state television channel. But this country and this Senate, the upper house, in the previous government, actually offered Fatiha for Osama bin Laden, but they could not offer Fatiha for Salman Taseer. And that gentleman, the guy who killed Salman Taseer, is a hero. See? But my question is, forget about that, but this will happen, this should happen. I hope this happens, but I don't foresee this is going to happen. But coming back to my question now, how can youth promote pluralism and mutual respect for religious diversity? Because we believe that 70%, this is about the mindset. Forget about those. Forget about the youngsters. They are still in a liquid form. Their mind hasn't been frozen yet. So how to go about it?
I think I share your emotions, and this is exactly what I said. Mainly, when I was waffling my way through the interview, I wasn't sure whether I should be saying that on the state television as such, but we need people like you, because these emotions are our way forward. I see a lot of hope in my youth, my brother, but the problem is we have these politicians who have large followings, and these are they are actually a slave of their followings. You've mentioned Salman Taseer. To what extent was he supported by his own people is also a question. When you raise something, although
they kidnapped his son, ma'am, they supported him.
So you see, that is the point that I'm raising. That how is it that if there is no clarity in who the enemies are, if there is, who are we essentially? What was the Pakistan that was made by Quaid-e-Azam? It was made. One of the reasons was La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. The other one was obviously because of the way the Muslims were being treated. So you could argue that Pakistan was created for the defense of the minorities as well. Who were the people in the first cabinet of Jinnah? At this moment in time, if you look at the way the minorities are being treated, if you look at the way anybody who is different to this takfiri
though they enjoy the constitutional rights, but the way they are treated, that's right in front of you.
You see, and I think what you have raised is very important, that there is religion is one thing, and then citizenship is another. You see?
But Rubab, coming back to where you've come to Pakistan from England, you've been working a lot on Interfaith Harmony over there. What has been the progress of all that you've done over there?
Well, there has been a lot of progress, and because, as you know, Interfaith is about not only clearing the misunderstandings that one religion has about the other, but also about studying religion together. So it's not just about discussing similarities, but you can discuss your differences, the things that you find challenging. And one thing that I find really positive is that over here, on one hand, we call ourselves an Islamic Republic, but I do find that a lot of things we cannot say and we cannot do because immediately you're put into one sect or the other. While in the British Parliament, we've had Sayyidah Fatma conference, peace be upon her, that was attended by rabbis, that was attended by Sikhs, that was attended by Hindus, that was attended by all Muslim schools of thought. And mind you, it was arranged in the British Parliament. Now, it is the 5th year consecutively that the British Parliament is holding Janab-e Sayyidah conference. There are more than 21 parliamentarians that attended. Lord Ahmed, Baroness Warsi, Sir Peter Bottomley, and this time there was so much of a lack of space that the parliamentarians were standing. Now my question to you is, can I have a similar conference in the Pakistani parliament?
I wish, ma'am, but the answer is no.
No. So now, and the other thing that we have done is that this time there was, because you know that we had this unfortunate killing of Lee Rigby, the British soldier who was killed on the street. And after that, obviously, the Muslims had to face a lot of backlash, and headscarves were being pulled off ladies, and we were at the Brent edge. I think an excellent interfaith initiative was taken where the mosques decided that they were going to call the non-Muslims who were surrounding the mosques, and they were going to call the local MPs, local priests. And you saw some very inspiring, beautiful stories, because what the Christians and what some of the Jews did, and it was beautiful, because they said that if you're going to call us on an iftar, we are going to keep the roza.
I totally understand where you're coming from, and I hope that in Pakistan people, Faisal, try to understand a bit about interfaith harmony, about religious harmony, as our religion Islam is a religion of peace and not of war. What do you have to say on that, Faisal?
So no comments, just think about it.
Yes.
Love yourself and let others live in it.
At the end of Ramzan, please think about it, think what your religion tells you, think what its implications are. From Faisal Rahman, Malik and Umar Butt, it's goodbye for now. For another program, you'll of course be watching us.
We'll see you after Eid.
Yes, definitely.
Till then,
so
Khuda Hafiz.
Eid Mubarak.